What are naughty steppers? It's Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel. And oh my god, it is hot. Been outside a lot today. It's about 30 degrees in London and will be for the next week or so. And I've just got back home and I am completely spent. But quite fitting in a way for this new idea I've got. The first episode of which is finally here. Fitting because, unlike usual, this review will be unscripted and more spur of the moment, which is great because I don't have to look at my screen every so often to look at exactly what I want to say. This one is going to be much more relaxed because this, fellow naughty steppers, ladies and gentlemen, is the first Beatport genre battle. And obviously you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, so let me explain. Beatport, the hub for electronic music fans, the iTunes equivalent somewhat, has a ginormous amount of music to offer that no other music buying site does, all of which is divvied up into genre categories. From darker stuff like dubstep, trap and drum and bass, to lighter stuff like indie dance, funk and melodic house. God, I never thought I would utter those words on this channel, but hey ho, there you go. But with regards to the darker stuff, which is what Nawtystep is about, I've always wondered just how good the best tracks from these individual genres actually are. And you may be wondering, well, how would you know which tracks are the best from each genre individually? And we have one metric at least, because each genre has a top 100, which is measured by the amount of copies of a particular track being sold on the Beatport website. So in order to find out whether these tracks actually live up to that status, I came up with the Beatport genre battle idea, where I will be taking the darkest electronic music genres from the Beatport website, picking two of them at random, finding the number ones for each respective genre, and then comparing them in a head-to-head way. Listening to each of the tracks just once through, if I've heard one of the tracks before, I will go down to the next one in the top 100 for that respective genre. Breaking the tracks up into introduction, drops, any midsection or interlude sort of middle part, and outro, to judge which track I feel is better and, in turn, which genre really is on top at the moment. The genres will be drawn using a wheel decider on the internet, and it's from there that the comparisons will start. And seeing as it is the first Beatport genre battle, now I'm going to have to go and find the genres that I will be drawing out of the wheel decider. So, plugging into Beatport right now, let's have a look at what genres we've got. Blah, 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 okay. Big room, yeah, I think we can put that one in. That has its tendencies to be dark enough. What else? Breaks? Yeah, I'm feeling breaks. I can do that. Let's put breaks in. Let's see what we get with that one. What else we got? Blah, blah, blah. DJ tools, dance, deep house, drum and bass and dubstep. Two absolutely key dark electronic music genres, I think would be hard to disagree with. What else we got here? We got Electro House. Interesting one. See, we have had artists before that have had, or have made, very dark sorts of Electro House. So, yeah, I think we're going to put that one in there too. So, Electro House. Very good. No. Garage, bassline and grime. I think I'm going to skip that one, to be honest. Glitch hop, yep. We've got glitch hop, and immediately below that we've got hard dance. So, glitch hop and hard dance, I think, yep, they're both going to go in. Oh, we got 7 so far. That's pretty meaty. Hardcore, hard techno. Ooh, that's a difficult one. You know what? I think I'm going to put it in as well. Hardcore and hard techno. Let's hope that it is. Let's hope that it's more on the hardcore side of things, because if I did a techno review, not sure how many people would want to watch that. Although I do love techno. Yep, I said it. I must admit, I do love a bit of techno every now and then. Tech house, techno, trance, trap. Oh, hang on, what? Trap / future bass. Excuse me? Well, I mean, obviously you have to have trap, but trap is absolutely nothing like future bass, so I'm not really sure where Beatport got that one from. But, oh well. And we're on 9, and I kind of wanted to put it up to 10, so what I'm going to do is include house as well, because I remember looking on there a while ago and seeing some songs on there that I actually liked that were quite dark. So I think the house genre on Beatport, on the Beatport website, does actually have some pretty dark stuff on there. So put house in there. We have Big Room, Breaks, Drum and Bass, Dubstep, Electro House, Glitch Hop, Hard Dance, Hardcore, Trap and House. They are all in the Wheel Decider. And now I think we're going to go for our first spin. So the first genre to be drawn in the first Beatport genre battle is... God, the tension. The tension. Oh! Breaks! Breaks, okay. So, let's go... Okay, let's slot that one right in. And the second genre to be drawn in the first Beatport genre battle is... Ooh. Hey, okay. Drum and bass. Okay, there we go. So there we have it, guys. The first Beatport genre battle on the Nawtystep channel will be the number 1 from Breaks versus the number 1 from Drum and Bass. And now, obviously, it's time to find out what the number 1 is from each genre so we can get on with this comparison. So, here we go. Let's go to the Breaks. And the number 1 is called... It's just loading. We have Classic by Yo Speed featuring Javo Scratch. Or maybe Yavo Scratch, actually. Can't say that I've heard of either of these guys before, which makes it even more interesting. I could end up absolutely loving this track and finding a new artist in the process. And now for the drum and bass one. So, here we go. Drum and bass. Ah, okay. Okie dokie. All Crew by Chase and Status, which, surprisingly and probably ashamedly so as well, I haven't heard yet. Probably a reflection on the fact that I've fallen out of love with them somewhat ever since their No More Idols album, which is one of my favourites of all time. It was such a high standard that they set that anything after that it just wasn't going to be as good, really, was it? However, this is the number 1 drum and bass track according to Beatport at the moment, so let's dig into them both. Gonna switch the speakers on and load up the old Spotify. And seeing as Breaks was the first genre to be drawn, then it is the first track that I will be listening to. So here we go. I have a document up and ready to make some notes. The track, Classic by Yo Speed featuring Javo Scratch, is up and ready. Let's go. Pretty good so far, I think. How long we got left of this one? Another 3 minutes, okay. Okay. In it for the long run. That's the second time it's got me now on the boom. It's quite decent, actually. Okay. Okay. And now how's about we get on the drum and bass track? All Crew by Chase and Status. Okay, strangely enough, it wasn't on Spotify, but I have taken to YouTube to find the track instead. Okay. Ooh, is it changing up? Is it changing up? It's really chugging along, this one, isn't it? Starting to wind down now. Okay, yeah. So to my mind, both of these tracks are actually relatively similar in that the distinction between particular sections isn't actually that evident. The separate sequences from each track are somewhat blending into one another to make the pieces of music seem more continuous than broken up, as you would usually expect with dark electronic music, where you would usually have intro, then build, then drop, then mid-section, then another build, then another drop, with the odd double drop in between every now and then. But I mean, they did both have their intro sorts of parts, so with the first one, I really enjoyed the liveliness of it. It's got a really nice animation, slightly animalistic with the sound effects used throughout. And I really love those scratch sounds too. Pretty old school, not the best quality, but really enjoying the swing of it with all of those different effects coming together. The build for me going on a little bit too long. There were points where you really thought it was going to go straight towards the drop, but it didn't. And that felt stretched out just a little bit too far. But I think in that respect, the anticipation was built really well. And I love how the scratch noises were brought back into the build from the intro. Now, in the intro to the Chase and Status track, quite an eerie feel to that one. Few alien, oozy bits and shouts in the background. Not quite sure there's an organic feel to all of the components when brought together here. I didn't feel like there was a very genuine flavour to this intro. Seemed a little bit forced, even though I could tell exactly what they were trying to do. And I know this is the point, but it goes on for a fair while. For me, too long. So all, in talking about those introductions, I think I'm going to have to give the first point to Yo Speed. I prefer the animation of this one and the animalistic vibe of it. I think the Chase and Status one is lacking a little bit in that respect. Not as much flavour. And now moving into the progressions of these tracks, and with the Yo Speed one, the drop is soothing. Not quite sure there is enough going for it, but it carries the vibe on from the introduction very well. Nothing to throw you off your seat though. The vocal sample is good in parts, but there are other moments where I feel like it could have been unleashed way more. Could have been mellower to make it a bit more lo-fi, but also I feel could have been way heavier. So it sits in this weird sort of middle ground force-wise. I love how the scratches were introduced at this point in the track though. But as it goes on, I'm left wondering more than anything whether it is going on for too long, and whether it's missing just that something to take it over the line. And with the drop in the Chase and Status track, we have a very brief, spacey build before going right back into what the introduction offers. Not too much a fan of that, to be honest. Just a bit plain and straightforward. Again, I can see exactly what they're trying to do here, but I just don't feel the harmony between everything going on. Needs a little more substance, I think, to really flesh it out. Overall here, with the drop/progression sequences, I think again I'm feeling the Yo Speed one. It just has a bit more going for it, bit more energy, flavour, personality, character. And seeing as both of these tracks, as I said, are quite continuous, neither really has a midsection or interlude moment. So going straight into the outros here. The outro in the Yo Speed track for me tones down things really well, taking little bits off here and there as it progresses towards its finish, maintaining that beat though, which is still quite infectious by this point. And the Chase and Status track does pretty much the same, although the original beat doesn't have quite as much of a pull to it. So again, I think I'm gonna have to side with the Yo Speed one. So it's a clean sweep, guys. Yo Speed beats Chase and Status in the first Beatport genre battle in straight sets. All watchers of this channel listen to a lot of music, and you definitely have it in you to listen to two tracks more. So what I want you to do is listen to both of these tracks and then tell me which one you prefer, giving your reasons why. So in the comments, I want you to tell me whether you prefer Classic by Yo Speed or All Crew by Chase and Status, and why. Go as in-depth as you want to, but obviously I'd love to hear your reasons for why you prefer one track over the other. And lastly, with this video, let me know whether you enjoyed it or not, whether you think I should do more of them in the future. It actually stems from an idea I had about 5 years ago when Nawtystep was all done in print. Yeah, that's right guys, if you didn't know already, Nawtystep used to be all written. But yeah guys, that's it for the first Beatport genre battle. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hitting the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload to the Nawtystep channel. Next to my head there'll be some examples of the other kinds of video on the Nawtystep channel, from EP and album reviews to top 10s, genre guides. So yeah, if you enjoyed this one, then be sure to check those out too. And don't forget to follow Nawtystep across social media if you haven't already, all of which are linked in the description box down below. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure as always to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you folks in the next one. Peace out!